Hello, this is Christopher, and today I have a double review. I'm going to be reviewing both Reflector as well as Reflector Director. And Reflector is a Mac application. It is $14.99, and you can purchase this from the developer's website at airsquirrels.com. I will have links to this in the description if you're interested in purchasing. There's also a free 7-day trial, which I highly recommend you check out the 7-day trial before purchasing it, just to make sure that this application is exactly what you are looking for, which if you're looking for a way to mirror your iOS device or Android device to your Mac or your Windows machine, they have options for both. Now, I do not personally use a Windows machine, don't own one, and I do not run Windows inside Boot Camp on my Mac, so I can't speak to how well it works on the Windows side of things. So as far as this review goes, basically just going to be iPhone, iPad, and the Mac version of Reflector. Now, Reflector Director is an iOS only application at the moment, so it is both available for the iPhone and iPad. It is a universal application, and it is $6.99, and you can purchase that inside the Apple App Store for iOS devices. Reflector 2 is the application that I want to talk about first. So Reflector 2 is the service or application that enables me to mirror the screen onto my Mac. So what you see here is you see my iPad, and I have Reflector 2 running on my iMac right now. So first, let me just go over some of the preference settings with Reflector 2. So right here, you'll notice you got General. You can change your broadcast name. You could use system name if you want. Just uncheck mark that if you want to change the name. So off, always, and on hover. You also have on startup to show the quick connect window. You have connection right here. So you have some AirPlay resolution features in here. So I'm going to talk about the AirPlay stuff for the Mac and for iOS, and then there's also some Google Cast stuff in here, which is really cool. What Reflector does enables you to be able to do not only the iPhone or iPad, but you could also do Android devices. So if you have a Samsung Galaxy S 5, 6, whatever, Nexus 6 or 4 or 5, whatever, you can mirror those devices to your Mac as well, which is really cool, and it works almost flawlessly. I will say one thing: the Google Cast stuff does not work quite as well as AirPlay, but that is not anything to do with Reflector. That's just the way the Google Cast works. But so you have some AirPlay resolutions in here. You can do the recommended 1920 by 1080, and you can go all the way down to the iPhone 6 Plus 1080 by 1920. So you have default scale. You can change this default, full screen, or best for Retina. You have AirPlay security. Basically what this does, this enables you to have to enter a 4 or 6 digit code every time you connect your device when you connect to AirPlay on your Mac. I don't have this problem where I live at. I live in a house that's not really surrounded by many neighbors, so I don't have to worry about someone trying to connect to my Mac via AirPlay. But if you live in an apartment complex, or maybe you're going to be using Reflector in an office building setting, you may want to put the AirPlay security on. That's optional. On connection, you can connect and show device, connect and hide device, and prompt to approve. You have those options in there and change them. Display full screen if you want to do that. I don't want to display full screen. I kind of like being able to manage, but and what's really cool is within Reflector I can just like drag the corner of my device and resize that to whatever size that I like. So show frame automatically or none, and then you can do full screen, or you can do solid color or desktop background. If you want to change the color, just tap the little color palette, and then on your Mac you'll have all these little options for the sliders, the spectrum, the crayon box, whatever, and you can change the color to your liking. Okay, so recording, you have the option to actually record, so you don't need another third-party application. So if you're using something, I don't want to mention anyone's name, say nothing bad about them, but I'm actually using a third-party application for this demonstration, but I'm not going to really get into the reason why I'm doing that versus using Reflector, but just know that you don't need a third-party application to record now. You can do it all right here within Reflector 2, and it's an awesome, great feature. It puts out a really high-quality video. So you have some of the stuff here, recorded mode, so you can do all connected devices or best for App Store. Basically, that's for developers. If you have an app and you want to show it off so that you can upload it to the App Store, because now like in the iOS App Store, they have the little videos that you can demo your app, so a potential customer can review what the app looks like or what it's about before purchasing. Really cool stuff here. So you have recording resolution. You can go from 4K all the way to 480p. You have recording quality, very high, all the way down to very low, and then you have the recording FPS, which that stands for frames per second. So frames per second, that goes from 15 all the way up to 60. So then you have some advanced features here: login level, AirPlay, and as I mentioned a second ago, the Google Cast feature. And you can enable that or disable any of these features right here. Login level, you can do verbose, debug, or normal. So now let's get to Reflector Director. So that's what I'm going to talk about here. This is the second part of this review because I'm reviewing both Reflector Director and the Mac app Reflector because I have to, because the Reflector Director iPad app or iPhone app works with Reflector on the Mac. So it's really hard to kind of talk about one without talking about the other. So you have right here, you'll notice that it has Christopher's iPad and my 6 Plus. Those are showing you the devices that I'm already using inside the Reflector Director app on my iPad or my iPhone. And I can allow Reflector Director to discover these devices. And I can check mark or uncheck mark if I don't want to be able to do that. So let me go ahead and launch Reflector Director on my iPad. So what Reflector Director does is it enables you to manage the devices that you have connected to your Mac using Reflector, and then you can kind of bring them in and out of focus. So as you can see right here, I have this unknown and I have Christopher's iPad, which is the iPad that you are seeing right here on my screen. And as you'll notice down here, I have this little icon, and that's actually letting you know that yes, it's displaying on my screen right now. So I also have this little button here, and I can toggle that on or off, and that kind of goes full screen to not full screen. And then you can tap up here as well. So you also have this three-prong menu up here, and they show you all your connected devices, and you can tap the arrow on any of the devices that you're currently using, and then you have some additional settings in here, such as scale, orientation for forced landscape, or start recording. So like the scale, let me just show you actual size. You can have best for retina, stretch to fit. Let me back up, whoops. And you have the orientation, forced landscape, automatic, forced portrait. So go ahead and tap that, and then you can tap start recording if you want to, and I'll stop recording. And as you see there, it's going to give me this little dialogue, and I can go ahead and save as desktop. Just cancel that. I'm just going to show you that you can actually record your screen inside the Reflector app or on your Mac using the Reflector 2 app, and then you manage all those devices with Reflector Director. Really cool stuff. So let me go ahead and connect my iPhone to my Mac here. And so let me launch up, and I'm going to tap AirPlay, look for my iMac, and then I'm going to make sure mirroring is on. Boom. Now I have two devices mirrored to my Mac. Really cool stuff right here. So why would you want to do this? Well, if you're using the Reflector video recording application, I can manage which device to record. So if I was using the Reflector video recording feature, I would get both devices. If I hide one, the only thing that the Reflector recording feature is going to pick up is going to be my iPhone right now. Okay, so some other cool features that you can use inside. Let me go ahead and hide that. Other cool features that you can use Reflector Director for is you tap on the device that you're using. You can tap on, like, say, no frame. If I want a frame, I can put the frame on or off. Let's see, let's go with the white iPad right here. So you have all the colors to choose from, whether it's with the iPhone or the iPad. Then you have the choice to choose which device it is that you are wanting to display as what you are actually showing off on. So if you're showing an app that's built for the iPhone 6 Plus, you could choose that device. If you're showing off one that's built for the iPad Air 2 or whatever it is, you can pick and choose which frame and which device, no frame, which color, etc., whatever you'd want to do. And it works great. So Reflector 2 is a $14.99 application. As I said in the beginning of the video, I will link to the developer's website where you can purchase this. Reflector Director is $6.99, and you can buy that right in the App Store, and I will link to that as well. If you're using iPad and iPhone with a Mac and you want to mirror your screen, these two applications I consider a must-have. Now, one good thing about using Reflector 2, as I mentioned, you don't have to worry about using a third-party app to record your screen. You could actually use the Reflector app. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.